Hey, what is going on, everybody? In today's video, you might notice a surprise here on screen. I have with us a friend of mine, Genome, who I'm having alongside of me for this video to talk about Real-Time Arena, Mojo Season 1, and what we hope to see coming up on Friday for Season 2. So, if you don't mind, just introduce yourself a little bit here, Genome, so the viewers can learn a little bit about you.
Hello, viewers out there. My name is Genome from Genome Gaming. I've been YouTubing for a couple years. I have a main channel, but I just recently started my new channel, Genome Gaming, to specifically focus on Marvel Strike Force, and even more specifically on Marvel Strike Force for the beginning and maybe even mid-game player, free-to-play, low spender, that sort of thing. So it's a lot of how-to videos, a lot of top 10 lists, and that sort of thing as it comes down the pipe.
All right, and there we have it. So without further ado, let's get this video started. Alright, so let's get started to talk about Real-Time Arena. So I have here in the background here, oh there we go, the review, because you can click on the review button now once the season is done and we can see what our progress is done. What did you end up getting for, what level did you get in the season?
I hit 80, actually. I took like a week off because I got burnt for a while. I just did my dailies. I should have finished it, though.
I did manage to get all the way at the end, and I actually did purchase the Battle Pass, but I think I recommend to a lot of people that it's probably worth getting as far as you're going to get, or finish completely before you decide to buy it or not, because I think that if you buy it early and like yourself, you take a week off or you didn't finish the objectives, then I think it could be quite difficult to then clear it, and then you feel bad about the money that you spent if you didn't end up getting all the rewards. So I think you get about 5 to 6 days or so. I think you have about 22 days to buy the Battle Pass, and then you just before the actual end of the season, so there is time to think about it if you're not sure about wanting to go all the way or not. So yeah, so I just wanted to talk a bit about Season 1 here and our feature character of Baron Zemo. So what do you think about Baron Zemo, and especially for those who might not have had access to him, or maybe who didn't try very hard for the Blitz when he came around?
I think it was a great idea. I myself didn't have them. I have them on my secondary account, but I don't have them on my main account, and this actually gave me the shards to do so. So I thought it was a great idea. It's really good because a lot of newer players won't have access to him without wallet farming. So
yeah,
he's an excellent all-round character too. So
yeah, I mean, he is a 100 shard character unlocked. So I mean, I guess if you didn't have any shards for him, you would have had to pay for the $20 battle pass in order to get that full unlock. But of course, he is in the orb. So if you did get lucky or got some lucky pulls, then maybe that free to play 45 shards might have helped you push that extra way there. But otherwise, actually price point wise, it's not terrible. I mean, those 50 shard offers tend to be like, for these kind of characters, I think like $35. So, times 2 for a 100 shard character unlock. You're getting a pretty decent deal for the battle pass for that alone. But we'll talk more about the actual, the value of the battle pass later on. But yeah, I mean, I think the one thing that I felt they were missing was just there was a lot of purple and orange gear here, but there wasn't a lot of orb gold orbs, maybe training orbs. There were some of these purple training modules, but I don't know if that's fair. This wasn't even the orange ones. The orange ones are the best ones. But yeah, I didn't feel that the training modules were that great, especially when a lot of people were talking about a bit of a training module crunch or training mat crunch, with all the new characters coming to the game. So yeah, what did you think about sort of the side rewards of the season as well?
Well, I'm coming at this from a free-to-play standpoint because I didn't pay for the pass. Basically 100% free-to-play anyway. Yeah. But my only issue really was, it's hard to complain about 3 things, is the purples basically stayed there till like level 50 for the free-to-play players. So it took a long time to start getting into even T13s and all that. So mostly pretty good. I don't know, just it was fair. But if you purchased it, I think you did really well with it, and of course we'll talk about that a little bit more later on. But
yeah,
so, I mean, the training modules were, and maybe like you said, it's more org fragments and something useful, not just milestone stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be, because we had that 3-day break, or we have the 3-day break as it is, from when it finished from Friday when it's going to start up again. Now I don't know if the rewards are going to change at all. I don't know if that gap in time was designed so that maybe they had a bit of time to think about that, or they just wanted to start it off at the same day every month. That's possible too. Maybe just make sure it's like, I guess Friday would be January the 8th, so maybe they just wanted to start at the 8th every single month. I don't know. But yeah, I would have liked to see more things like gold orbs. I don't know, other things that we could have used than just the gear. So I'm really appreciative of the gear that's in it, but I just feel that, especially if you're coming from a free to play aspect, it was quite grindy. The objectives, and that's what I want to talk about too. Is the objective grinding, specifically the knockout grinding, was a lot of work for some people, and I know it caused a lot of frustrations for some people depending on what characters they have available. I don't know about your experiences with it, but I was running into a lot of teams where they would just use Phoenix and 4 characters for easy knockouts or whatever, and then Dark Phoenix would just kill everyone, and then somehow both sides would manage some knockouts. There's different combinations, or you just get the clean sweeper, or like the people using the meta teams with Emma Frost and all these annoying characters, and that just makes it a bit difficult for people to get their abilities off. So the objectives themselves, I think, were it is what it is, I guess, but you know.
It definitely needed some work on the objectives, I think. It was their first iteration of this, so they're still feeling things out and they're kind of lost in the woods. A lot of it has to do with matchmaking too. Was a lot of the problem. Putting up many teams. Like for the most part, when I was running all of these objectives, I would just go for the knockouts because a lot of the characters that they were picking out, of course, I don't have leveled, like Beast or
Yeah.
just several other Black Panther or whatever. I don't use those characters, so I just throw meta team on there and go for knockouts because I think 550 you get like 1,700 points or whatever, so it's almost more.
I'm actually looking at it right now. So you get like quite a lot. You get 1,700 for 225 knockouts, 1,550, and it's 250 per level. So this is like anywhere from 5 to 7 levels per knockout objective, which is really the bulk of the battle power, the season. Whereas I'm looking at the usabilities, and it's not even 1 level. And actually, this is the weekly one, so the dailies are even less. But I'm looking at a weekly one, usability She-Hulk. Like, I don't know how many people have, She-Hulk leveled up, but, and I heard, and now this isn't the case for me because I have pretty much every character unlocked, but I heard that you can get characters that you don't have unlocked. So Doc Ock was the big one that people got that they didn't have, that had to use them for it. But I think that in general that it is possible to get characters you don't have, and I think that's pretty bad for early and mid game players who don't have the full roster unlocked, unlike me, where they might struggle to clear some, especially the weekly ones, anyways, where it's only 1 level or just under 1 level's worth of points, but it's still a little bit that they can't really get. So yeah,
I mean, especially because those are like 50, so you got to use that character a lot too. So my thought about that is because for one thing, you think they could write an algorithm to find that. It's like, hey, doesn't even pop up for this guy because he's not unlocked. But excluding that, maybe if they were going to do a fix on this, I'm not sure if we're talking about this yet, but the next round of this would be to have like tri-character choices. Basically have 3 different options. Use Black Panther, Electro, or Scream or something. Chances are the character will at least have one of those characters unlocked and maybe geared a little bit, so it's a little more feasible. But
yeah, I mean, I'm okay with because I'm looking at it right now again. So it said usability's tech, usability's blaster, hero. Like that's fine because that's quite a broad list of characters. But then when you get to the very specific like single characters, I think that needs to change, or at least to an algorithm. I don't know why they can't do it. That they can see if you have the character unlocked or not. If you don't have it, then skip it. Use someone else. I hope that maybe that's what they're going to be considering for season 2. Like I said, it's not a lot of XP, I guess, towards the leveling, but it would still help and maybe cause a little bit less frustration. And then of course with the knockouts, yeah, I just find it really grindy, even for me. Like maybe I'm like on BlueStacks here, and I don't know, browsing Reddit, and on the side I'm just hitting auto. But like I don't know, it's just I feel I was really looking forward. I know that's going to be divisive too, because I was actually really looking forward to Real Time Arena, and I still enjoy it. And hopefully and we're going to talk about this later, but when the events and the leaks come out, I'm going to pay more attention to it. But from the knockouts perspective, it is really just kind of like getting your best team, or however you want to do it with Phoenix, and just spam that on auto, frankly, because it's mind numbing.
I've done it a few different ways, but I guarantee the bulk of what I did was just knockout work. And I probably had at least 3 sessions for this round where I sat down for about 2.5 hours and just did nothing but knockouts. Sometimes with that Phoenix team, but usually with like just Black Bolt, my strongest team, like Thanos and all them, and just trying to mow people down. So, I mean, that was just very grindy, very grindy.
Yeah.
It gets it done.
Absolutely. I definitely hope that they work on these objectives. Maybe there might be some adjustments coming up on Friday. I really hope that at least not giving you characters that you don't have. And I don't see a whole lot of change coming, because they've been on holidays apparently for so long. I don't know if they've had the time to think about that, but I hope at the very least they don't give you characters that you don't have. And
Yeah,
that's
or
at
at least
least
make it
one
like a
step.
yeah, or at least like a team. It's like, okay, use Hydra members, or use X-Men,
Yep.
use Brotherhood, or use mutants. You can be more generalized. It just helps.
Exactly. And in terms of the rewards, I don't know if that's going to change or not. The structure might be exactly the same. On a different note, though, actually, apparently a couple of the G15 minis were missing. I believe it was the Psionic Essence. Now, that's not going to be a huge deal for a lot of players, unless you're like in the top 5% or so. But for people who paid for it, yeah, apparently there was a few missing. I don't know if they're going to compensate us that. Oh my god, I can't speak. Compensate us for that, for those who bought the battle pass or not. But yeah, that is something. I actually need a few of them because I'm really close to getting my Thanos to G15, and hopefully by this weekend. But so
A little jealous. Yeah, that was. I guess that gets into the. We're not talking about the buying of the battle pass. Is it really worth it? But there's a ton of 15s in there, and they're not easy to get right now. So, but I guess we'll go over that a little more.
Yeah,
Later on.
so let's talk about the season 2 featured characters. So who do you think, based on, I don't know, some educated guess or estimated guess, what do you think might be, who do you think might be coming to the game?
Well, I got a few criteria for this, and I don't know how much sense it makes, but here's kind of what I'm thinking it is. I think the character will have to be relatively recent, probably within the last 6 months, because it has to be a hyped character if they want to sell battle passes. I think it's going to need to be a good standalone character. I don't think they're going to, that's why I don't think they'll release Cole. I think because, he's a pretty good standalone character, but he's amazing in his team, and no one really uses him off his team. And I think that it's something that Scopely's already made their money on. So it doesn't really hurt them to release this. They're probably not planning on selling any more orbs of that. So my guess is Ghost is going to be the next release for Real Time Arena. And
that's your wager?
That's my wager. That's I don't know if I bet my life on it, but the character is liked by the community, so that should reinvigorate buyers to buy the battle pass. It's a good standalone character. She works by every team, and she's going to be very relevant on the upcoming new release of DD4. So that's my guess would be Ghost.
The only thing, I'm not I have two things, I think Ghost could be possible, but I think that if Ghost does come to the season pass, then I don't think Pimtech is going to be the unlock for Jubilee, because I don't think that they're going to want to give away, whether it's 45 shards free to play or 100 with the battle pass, so easily if she is going to be used for that legendary. I think that would be too much of a double whammy, I think, to provide shards at a cheaper rate than they normally would for something like this. So again, highly possible, but if she does come into the season pass, then it won't be Pimtech, in my opinion, for Jubilee. But yeah, it's definitely, I think she might be a little bit too new. Maybe not. Baron Zemo was sometime in the summer, I think. I think it was like August, I think, something like that, for his release. I'm kind of thinking Anti-Venom. I'm putting some stock into Anti-Venom personally. He is another 100 shard character unlock, so that does fit the criteria of what Baron Zemo was. Ghost was also 100 shards, so that's a pretty good, educated guess there. So I think it could be one or the other. Anti-Venom is a very popular character, very strong symbiote character to round out that team. I think that would make him money as well. I think Ghost would also make him money, but I am concerned about the sort of the Pimtech Jubilee unlock potential, I guess, there. So I don't know how likely that may or may not be. We probably won't know that until the blog post, probably next Friday, when hopefully we hear a little bit more about, well, Jubilee and even this patch's characters. Some people were talking about maybe Iceman. He's a 100 shard unlock. Is he going to be in the season pass? People were dreaded about that. I don't think that's going to happen, only because we didn't get Iceman in the Red Stars. I think that if he was in the Red Stars instead of Red Guardian, I think there might have been some stock in him showing up there. I think that would be a really, really crappy, pay to win or pay to unlock sort of aspect, because he's 100 shards, so you're not going to unlock him for free. With the 45, you'd have to buy the pass in order to unlock him. But yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm personally putting my wager on Anti-Venom. She-Hulk was 100 shards unlock, I think, as well, but I really don't think that they're going to make a lot of money off of that. So
no, they wouldn't sell. Actually, Anti-Venom was my second choice too. It was switching between Ghost and him.
I
But
think a character that was a 100 shard unlock seems the most reasonable. So, hey, unless I'm super wrong, I'll eat a sock if it's She-Hulk. I don't think it personally will be, but yeah, she is another 100 shard unlock character that came actually in the Symbiote patch, I'm pretty sure. So, and then after that was Pimtech.
If it's She-Hulk, I'll eat a dirty sock. It's gonna be She-Hulk.
And so, okay, so you got Ghost, I got Anti-Venom. We'll see if either of us are right or if neither of us are right, and it's something completely different. Beast, some people said Beast maybe, because we did get that 5 red star Beast in the milestones, but frankly, I don't know if he would really make them a lot of money. I don't know if I would go like, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy the battle pass for Beast. I don't. That doesn't really strike home for me. I'd probably end up buying it for the G15 minis anyways, but I mean, it's not something that other people who might be making a different decision want to go, oh yeah, Beast. So I don't know.
I think there's just too many mutants coming out soon for them to do that.
Yeah.
People don't want to build the new mutants, so.
That's true too. Yeah, lots of mutants as well. So yeah. So do you think that the battle pass? And we're getting towards the end here. Do you think the battle pass is worth the $20 US? And what do you think about the? I can't look at it now because I've already bought the $20 one. But there's the $40 premium one that gives you 30 free levels. It's quite expensive for that though.
Well, I'm of the opinion just grind it, but I'm a free-to-play player, so I will say this: if you are going to be putting money into this game, this is one of the best values you're going to get, I think, of anything. If you just take the numbers from the last one, there was actually 51 tier 15 pieces in that last go-round. Right now, those are priced at about $1.50 a piece in the store. That's $81 by itself. So
yeah,
if you're about gearing in and getting a DD4 and just building a roster out, it's really a no-brainer if you're going to be spending money. And plus you get an extra 45 shards too, and those normally go for about $19 or $20 anyway. So
yeah, I think from a late game perspective, it's definitely worth your value for $20 US. I don't remember what level you need to be to unlock real-time arena. It's like 60. 55,
so,
something like that.
I don't have it on my other account right now. So.
I mean, I get. So I guess it's not really a question about newer players as such until you hit 60. But obviously, there's just purple and orange gear. There's quite a bit here. It's only a lot of it. The purple gear is just catalysts actually. Because I was looking at the rewards right now, and there's a lot of ABCs. That's nice on the paid side. Nice. And then there's some just random stat catalysts, but there isn't individual gear pieces for purple. I think they could have maybe done a little bit more again with like additional orbs, maybe like those Blitz gear credits or whatever, those purple gear orbs, things like that. They could have added into it gold orbs, to make it more enticing to more broader players, rather than it seems like at least the paid side and probably even the free-to-play side, for how much time you have to invest into it, seems that it's largely designed for that sort of later game kind of player.
I think they should have had about 4 nodes on there that gave you like 1 million gold, 2 million gold, 3 million gold, 4 million gold.
Oh, guaranteed gold?
Guaranteed gold. Forget the ore fragments, just give me the gold,
I think people would definitely buy it if that was the case, because obviously gold orbs tend to average around maybe 150k or so. But we'll see, I guess, on Friday if it remains the same or not, what character is going to come, and if they make any adjustments or not, because it's not bad, but I think it definitely could be better, and I think some people were a bit disappointed on what was offered in it.
Yeah, I mean, overall value, I think it was pretty good, especially for their first time offer. And we'll see if it goes down or not in price to entice more people in. But
yeah,
it's paying $20 to skip 30 levels. I guess you really have to weigh your cost time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're really whaley and you really don't have the time for it, then it makes more sense to go that way and get that for them, But obviously, that's like 2 months worth of. You're paying $20 more just to skip 30 levels, which frankly is only like 1 week's worth of weekly objectives if you do the knockouts. So for me, it's definitely not worth it. I know some people in my alliance actually picked up that one. I'm like, oh man. And then they ended up finishing it early. I'm like, well, they're still grinding out the weekly objectives and stuff like that. Anyways, it was a waste of money, I think. But yeah, if you don't have the time, guess all the power to you. And apparently you can actually use power cores to skip levels as well. I didn't do any of that, but yeah, you can spend like 200 power cores a level or something. which is quite a bit, to do that
Then you got to buy the power core.
if you're really desperate. But so just before we close up here, I want to talk a little bit about the leagues that you see on the front page here coming soon, and then there's an additional event tab. So I have no idea necessarily. I know that leagues probably are going to be a more competitive element, but the events is also kind of curious. What they're going to do that if that. It leads me to believe that they may in the future decide to have character releases around real-time arena or not, and that might make characters again like Baron Zemo more popular, because there are these characters that excel a lot better in these real-time arena sort of settings. X-23 is another good one. These ability blockers, these really quick ability blockers that are a pain in the ass, so you might see, or maybe we'll see more PvP focused characters. I don't know. So what's your thoughts about these two things?
It seems like it would be, because this is also, if they really get this mode fleshed out, this would be a great way for them to sell more PvP-oriented characters. Because I know Zemo, he sold all right, but he didn't sell great because people didn't realize how good he was, because there wasn't a lot of PvP going on back then.
Yeah.
And now that they got this mode out there and people can see the value of it, because not only are they having fun like doing their milestones or whatever, they're actually getting good gear and stuff, rewards for doing it. I think it really opens the door for them to, like you said, create some more PvP focused characters, and then not just have to be a war defense team, a war offense team, or a utility character. So yeah, I wouldn't have that one whatsoever. And they might even start ranking it like they do with Arena or something like that.
But how do you feel about character unlocks being from real-time arena? I know that it's quite divisive in the community about real-time arena, and I think there's definitely going to be some early backlash when that happens, because not a lot of people do. It's pretty split as to who likes doing it and who doesn't like doing it. So if you're forced to do it, or maybe not forced, but to get the character, you'll need to do it. And I guess maybe it depends on how valuable that character is outside of PvP, because if he ends up being a PvP unlock but he is really good in PvE, then people are going to be a bit upset about that.
Well, I am admittedly kind of torn on the mode myself. I love it because it's very free-to-play friendly, and it gives you a lot of good gear for just a little bit of your time. But it seems like every time they take away some slog for us to do, like Blitz, we got something else to do, like real-time arena now. You spend more time doing this than you ever did with Blitz before. So I don't know, man. The risk reward, I think if they do that, they'll probably make it to where you can just buy your way all the way through it eventually, and then not have to full time, and then they'll get the whale money coming in that way. I don't know. I'm on the fence with it. I can't argue they're giving us something for free for the free-to-play players, or exceptional value for the ones who do pay. Man, I don't know if I like the idea of having to get characters out of there.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if with leagues they might bring in a store, whether or not that's for like a new set of characters to be, like an arena store kind of thing, but for like a real-time arena store where you get credits through the leagues, maybe like that. But it's the event tab specifically that I just don't know what that's going to be, because we see that the quick tab just has regular battles there, but the event tab, I don't know what that's going to make a difference to. For you can only use Hydra characters or something like in these event battles, or something like where you're given a very restricted set of characters for some reason that you might, I don't know, maybe like a milestone, a separate milestone for that. Like, I don't know what the intention behind this event tab is going to be for.
I don't know. They can also do something kind of cool, like scaling. So basically, everyone's on an even playing field. No one's above tier 13, no one's above level 75 or whatever, no one's above 6664 or whatever.
That's
Things
true.
like that.
Yeah, it might actually give us another way rather than just quick play. I mean, maybe it'll still be quick play, but with different characters, or with balanced quick play, something like that, maybe. That would be cool, because I think that's another point of contention. I didn't really cover that actually in this video, is that sometimes when you go into matches, you're going up with a 300k team, getting matched with a 500k team. They seem to have done better previously, but it seems to go back and forth, because I was doing some testing, because we still have to do the 2 real-time arena dailies even though the season's not on. So I did some of these matches, and I was testing my skilletary team, and it was about 300k there, and I was getting matched up with a 700k meta team. I'm like, well, clearly the algorithm is not working right now. So it goes back and forth between like working and not working, because it was better at some point. I remember the matchups were a lot closer together, and now apparently got thrown out the window. So I don't know.
The first day came out, it took forever to get a match. I quit even trying. The second day, they had that figured out, and I think the matchmaking was best the first week. And after that, it was just all over the place, within 300k of each other constantly. Sometimes 3 even matches in a row, and then back down to swinging. Now, I don't know if that's intentional, so you can get some easy knockouts or whatever, but it's It's very frustrating.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see till Friday and see if it gets improved or if it's just a crap fest and everyone's on Reddit complaining, and I guess we'll find out then. So I guess we'll wrap things up here. So that basically covers most of what I wanted to say about Real-Time Arena. Again, we'll see if any adjustments are made, any to the season rewards or anything like that, and what the feature character that we end up getting. So if any of our predictions are accurate or not, fingers crossed for Anti-Venom, but we'll see. Otherwise, I hope the developers are listening to the feedback that the players have been giving, both on Discord, Reddit, and elsewhere, because I know this is a bit divisive, like I said, Real-Time Arena, so we don't want any more pitchforks up in the air for this, especially just going into 2021. So so that's all I wanted to say about that. Of course, if you want to say a little thing as we close up here.
One more about the actual Real-Time Arena itself. I will say one more thing, and I hope they institute this quickly. There needs to be something given to you for timeouts. You got people rage quitting constantly, and I know it gets annoying having to punch up 500k. You're gonna get slaughtered, but then they just sit there and let the clock run down on you, and you guys sit there for a couple minutes. You should get full credit for all those knockouts if they do that, I think, and that would get people to stop doing that, I think.
And actually, I'll raise one quick one as well, and that's actually when people quit the battle. I know a lot of people are complaining about when they're trying to get knockouts and they quit the battle and they're unable to do that because you get the win, but you don't get any knockouts. So they did say that they were going to change that so that the AI takes over. So we'll see if that actually ends up going in on Friday or not, because I think that'll be quite important. Something I should have raised earlier, but I forgot.
There's a lot to talk about. You can't always get it all.
So that's going to be the end of things here, guys. And thanks, Genome, for joining me in today's video. And of course, guys, until next time and next video, stay safe, and I'll see y'all later. Boylan and Genome signing out.